Welcome to the LA Business Podcast, a forum for business owners and senior executives to share the experiences about the elements that drive their success. Your host is Robert Brill, CEO of BrillMedia.co.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the LA Business Podcast. Today our guest is Dr. Pooneh Ramezani, a CEO at Dr. Brite. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you so much for having me, Robert.
Now, I understand, so you've been a medical doctor for 20 years. In 2015, you co-founded Dr. Brite with your sister, Dr. Paris Sabo. Um, Tell us a little bit about your business, and specifically, I want to learn about what you've done over the last 6, 9 months as COVID became a big part of our life here in 2020.
Yeah, great. So Dr. Brite is a lifestyle brand, and we manufacture products that are not only effective but safe. So me and Paris founded the company back in 2015. I'm actually a dentist of over 20 years. She's a cancer surgeon. So we started with oral care products at that time, and our oral care line is very unique in that it goes and addresses your pain points and issues with your oral health. So we have broken this down into 4 or 5 problems. Like you have dry mouth, we have a solution for it. You need whiter teeth, we have a solution for it. You have cavities, we have an anti-plaque and cavity solution. So we did that, and also added into the oral care products. Back in 2017, we came out with a hand sanitizer, and we sold it B2B to medical and dental offices through our national distributors, and it did pretty well. It wasn't our best seller, but back in March, we saw a ton of orders from that distributor coming in early March. And I talked to a couple of the salespeople that I knew, and they said, "Oh my God, we can't find sanitizer anywhere." And you guys are the only ones. We used to sell maybe, I mean, a few cases, like 10 cases of the sanitizer a month. And then they put in an order overnight for 100 cases. And I was like, what is going on? So we kind of did a research and saw that there is a need for this essential product. We had a very good formulation. We kind of did overnight, honestly, R&D, and made it up to par with what CDC recommended, and did some testing and stuff around that. And we sent a letter out to our email list back, I think it was around the 15th of the month, saying that we are pre-selling it and bringing it out to the masses. And we did so well. Everybody's response was like they purchased the pre-sale, and we're like, oh my God, we have something good here. So yeah, worked around the clock, built a big team, hired at the time that everybody else was firing and letting go of people because there was no business, and brought this product back to the market within like 10 days. So by like the 23rd, 24th of the month, we shipped out our first batch. And again, it was very difficult at that time because of supply chain. What had gotten so affected, we couldn't find alcohol, we couldn't find the containers to put this product in. But again, we have a great team, and having my sister as my partner, and also my brother came in and actually did all the management, and adding the personnel to the fulfillment and production team. So we did it. It was great. So it kind of changed our life back in March.
What was the original when you started Dr. Brite in 2015? What was the original mission for the business? And how did you go from what did you do prior to this? I mean, you're a doctor, so
So
I have
yeah,
an
yeah, yeah.
inclination.
So prior to 2015, I actually graduated dental school when I was very young in 1994. I built two very successful practices in Northern California, one in Sunnyvale, California, one in San Jose, California. I went to dental school in San Francisco. So I stayed up there, and sold the practices when we moved down to Orange County. And the reason why we moved is because of our parents. We had one child at a time, and now we have two. So there was more help. Then we built and scaled dental offices here, three of them, in Orange County. and my husband's a dentist too. So we were running and managing the three dental offices here. And then back in 2015, Paris was working in a very prominent cancer center in Beverly Hills. And one day we were having lunch and she came and said, "Oh my God, I can't believe people in their 20s, like with no family history of cancer, they come in with stage 3 breast cancer." And then I was practicing full time at the time. And then people were asking me about ingredients and dental products. And I went to one of the best dental schools in the US, and I never even knew. So I would suggest for them to go buy a conventional mouthwash, let's say. But I didn't know really what was in this mouthwash. And so at that time, I think people were starting to really, this was about 2014. Um, People were starting to think about, oh, what is in my product? How is it affecting my health? And then I went and did research, and Paris did too. Then we found out, oh yeah, oh my God, there's a ton of, ingredients that you should avoid. And then Paris's son at the time was like 2, and he started brushing his teeth and eating toothpaste. And then she's like, oh my God, it says call Department of Poison Control if you eat toothpaste. So yeah, so the whole company started when we really saw a need in, and we started with oral care because of my background, because I saw a need there, and whatever was claiming to be natural wasn't really natural, or the natural ones weren't really effective. Me as a dentist, like, don't want you to go and brush with like black charcoal, because the black charcoal can tattoo your gums permanently, and you'll stay with like these stained black gums forever, and so, and the patients were more aware of this and would come and ask me questions. So yeah, we started figuring out that there is a need for effective but safe products, which we continue in each category now. So that's the biggest mission statement of Dr. Brite, is to build in each category the best product in the category. But what does best mean? Means that it's safe and also effective, and it's good for you and good for the planet. So we are a B Corp certified company too. So we really care about sustainability and the planet as well. So that's how we got started. That's the mission statement for Dr. Brite.
How did you and how did you take the learning, like how do you go from being a dentist to and managing multiple locations to building an e-commerce store? Tell us about that learning curve and how you really overcame that, because e-commerce is tough. Like how did you do that?
It's very tough. I mean, I realized right away that all the dental school and all the stuff that I had gone through did not teach me anything about e-commerce, totally different. But I think my background as a business owner really helps me because of the fact that, I mean, even though it's a completely different business, but um, I started all of my practices from scratch. I had to build a team. I had to do advertising. It was different at the time, and every day I'm still learning. But all of that really helped me. I had to kind of guide and manage and be the CEO of my dental office, and also deal with patients at the same time, and make sure that everybody in my practice is providing, the same great service to patients, being like my other associates or my orthodontist or my hygienist. So that really helped me coming into Dr. Brite and creating Dr. Brite, and bootstrapping it was very, very difficult. My husband honestly thought I was crazy, because he's like, oh, you're at a point in your life that you should retire or think about retirement after all these years of dentistry, and you're doing a startup and bootstrapping it. It's just crazy. So yeah, it was very difficult. I mean, at the beginning, I was like, am I really sure? 100 times I told that to myself, that I want to get into this. But, again, I built the team, even though our team's small, but they're very good at what they do. I think focusing is key. And we all, each one of us, even though sometimes we have to wear different hats, but we focus on one thing. And again, having a co-founder, I think, helped us a lot too, there are a lot of things about product development, R&D that I don't know about, and my sister really steps up and takes care of that. I'm more into, bigger vision and what the company is going to do, let's say within a year, and then 5 years and 10 years, and then kind of building a team and managing the team. She's more into what product category, what's new, what do we do next. And so, yeah, so it's worked really well.
That's amazing. Um, yeah, I imagine there's a learning curve. This business that I run, my advertising business, it's the first time I've built a business,
Yeah,
but I've had practice
yeah.
doing it, and having practice doing it within inside other companies definitely gave me just the lead I need to be able to like handle the challenges. But I'm sure there was a learning curve. So inside your business, who is responsible, or what role is responsible for, so you have the big picture, you have the vision, uh who is responsible for handling the store and the product manufacturing? How do you divvy up those roles?
Who's responsible for handling? I'm sorry, say
Yeah,
that one.
sorry, that was kind
That's
of like
fine.
as I stated, I'm like, what am I actually asking?
Yeah.
How do you divvy up the roles within your organization? You probably have someone who's focused in on marketing. You
Yep.
probably have someone who's focused in on managing the e-commerce. You have the potential for having someone focusing on the manufacturing. How do you who like I'm not interested in the individuals, but like what types of roles are paired together? That's always fascinating for me.
Yeah. So, I mean, so yeah, as you said, we have different groups of very small groups, but different teams doing different things. So starting from scratch, because as I said, we have a production line. We don't use a third party to to make our products and then send them over here so we can just fulfill and ship out. We actually manufacture all of our oral care products in-house, all of our sanitation products or pet products. We have three different categories, right? So it all starts with the product design, and also, which I mean, multiple teams work together. So Paris starts with ordering, sample ingredients, right? So let's say she's the one that is actually making this new product, right? So she works hand in hand with our designer, and they design the packaging at the same time as she's ordering the ingredients to make the product. So that goes hand in hand. When the products are finalized, then the list of the ingredients go into Kelly, who's like designing the packaging, finally putting in the list of ingredients. At the same time, we do creatives in house. We have a videographer and photographer in house that starts and thinks about, what kind of a creative do we need for this to do, let's say, social media ads or Google ads, or and then they work hand in hand again with our digital marketing team, and then the product gets put on the site, and then the SEO team, which we don't have an internal SEO team, we actually have an external team that works on our SEO. So then they get notified, and then on the back end, when everything is all done before we even launch the product. So this is about a 2-month process, right? So by the time we get all the packaging in, the ingredients in, and then we go in the back, and then Paris meets with the production team in the back and tells them it's like a recipe. You follow the recipe, you do 1 and 2 and 3, and they make the products. And then it goes through again some testing, and she's directly involved with that. If we have to modify something from that recipe, then she's directly involved with that. And after the production team gets it, they run it, and we all test them here. So we every day we're very sanitized, we say, as we test all of our products, sanitation products, or oral care products for that matter, all of it internally. Then it goes into, production, then it goes into fulfillment. So there's another team for fulfillment, and then for shipping, but everything works together. So I'm on the top here. I'm kind of overseeing all these teams, and I let them do, I mean, if they need my help, yeah, of course, so I'll help, but I let them manage their own, like one or two or three people team themselves. So total company, we used to be before COVID 12, back end and front end, meaning um, uh, all of my, creative team, including like everybody in the warehouse. We were 12 of us, and now we're up to 38. So yeah, so within the past 9 months, we've grown the company. Like,
Focusing on that's incredible. So focusing on hand sanitizer, focusing on masks.
yeah.
Um,
And what's needed, essential right now. So those are, we still sell a lot of oral care. I mean, a lot of our customers, they started in the pandemic when they couldn't find any other essential products like sanitizers, or now like we started selling wipes back in June, and they bought that, and now they're buying in the different other categories. Like we just launched like about a month ago our pet wipes, and now they're doing pets because they kind of trust us and they believe in the mission, and we show them, like, for example, I don't have to do this, but I send emails out to customers when I see that they need a response, and when they get my email, they're all very, very happy, because I've learned that it's like nurturing the experience, and the with the customers is very important.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean it's like you know what I think that what's also interesting is the closer an entrepreneur is to their customer
Yeah.
I don't want to say at the beginning, because I mean we're 5 years, you're 5 years into this business, you're not at the
Yeah.
beginning, but there's still some important elements to kind of like understand what people are interested in and being able to turn that into to see the trend overall.
Oh, I mean, we've made that type of a mistake, and I think it's important for your audience to know also. Yeah, we made a mistake of bringing in products in a category without like surveying or talking to our customers. So
Right.
it hasn't been great. Even if I thought it's the greatest product or the greatest scent, but you always have to go back to your customers and see what they really want, and then from there take that idea or whatever and develop it and execute it, so it's very important. You're absolutely right.
How are you marketing PPE? You really don't have a lot of support from the major social platforms like Facebook or Instagram or TikTok. Like like tell us about the marketing for your PPE products.
Okay, so yeah, again, absolutely right. We started with Facebook ads. We were doing so well back in like the late March, early April, and then our ad account got shut down.
Yep,
And they said you can't sell hand sanitizer, which we're a FDA registered company. Our product is FDA registered. The facilities is FDA registered. So we were very legit, but yeah, and it was great. I mean, we were doing so well, and all of a sudden everything stopped. Traffic stopped on our site. Everything stopped, and we were desperate. Like at that time, we were like, how do we really market? This is an essential product. We're a legit company. So yeah, we did a lot of other stuff. I mean, there are platforms that didn't have as much restriction. So we did, but you can't really scale them. Facebook is just, unfortunately or fortunately, one of the largest. Millions and millions of people actually go on Facebook every day. So yeah, you have to be creative. I mean, we did, I mean, other platforms. And then I spent a ton of money on media and did a lot of like radio ads and even TV ads at one point. So whatever it took.
so some of our clients are focusing in on banners and
Hmm.
video ads outside of
Yeah.
the major social platforms.
Yep. And we
That's
did that too. Yep.
yeah. um and
But
it
it's not as bad now, though. I will
Yeah.
tell you, back in August, our company got verified by Facebook, so they are allowing us to run PPE ads on Facebook right now.
That's great.
Yep.
I think they limited, they opened up a little bit.
Yep.
um that's fascinating. So what is the next, I mean, we're today is like the first, I think the first day as we're recording this on December 14th. um how vaccines are rolling out, which is great news for everyone in the United States. what do the next 6 to 12 months look like for you as you shift your business, or don't shift
Yeah,
your
so
business?
so we actually have had internal discussions about this. We took advantage of and pivoted of this pandemic really back in March and pivoted like overnight and brought out products that are necessary. I think that going into 2021, what we're doing right now is serving our customers to see what other products they would like to see. I don't think, I mean, it's going to diminish the, the um, people wanting to buy like alcohol based products, but I don't think it's gonna go away anytime soon. Um, so we are going to figure out, and this is something that we're doing internally right now, to see what kind of other categories we can get into because of the fact that we have like quadrupled or even more our business and our customer list and customer base. We have the ability to contact them and figure out what are they looking for, what is it that they want, and then we're going into 2021 are going to develop another category. It's probably going to be a personal care product category, and because that's we started with personal care, we're home care, so it's everything is kind of comes under the umbrella of safety and efficacy of like two doctors running a company that are also moms, so it's very important. And we're narrowing down our target consumer to see exactly the persona, right, so that we can really directly talk to them and make sure that we create products for them. So yeah, going into probably Q2, we're going to have another, just one more category, maybe keeping the scents that people love and bringing in products to with those scents for them, their personal use or the family use.
Now, I understand you have a special promo offer for our listeners. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so we normally don't like really doing any kind of promos, but yeah, for we have reduced our prices. We always do that when we can secure better pricing for ingredients and things that has happened. This is the second time we're doing that during the pandemic and this year. We always reduce down our prices and directly give those savings to our customers. So just recently, last week, we had a price reduction site wide. But for your customers, what I want to do is to offer them an additional discount, especially the people that have not had a chance to try out our products. So if you put in the code save 10, you get an actual 10% off of our reduced prices. And that would be for the next month. We can extend that to the customers that listen to you. So it's save, SAVE 10, and you put that at checkout and you get an additional 10% discount off of our already reduced prices.
Awesome. Let people know the website URL. You have a great URL, by the way. I really think it's a
Thank you.
very powerful URL. So drbrite.com, drbrite.com. It'll appear as viewers are watching this. It'll appear at the bottom. Um, so how has brand been a big part of your, or not been a big part? How's brand been a part of your overall growth strategy? Because your visuals are so pleasing. The
Yeah.
aesthetics of the site, the images that you use on your products, like the packaging, just the way your site looks. It's such a aesthetically pleasing like brand. Tell us a little bit about you know how if brand is a big part of what you're building here.
Yes, absolutely. So we as soon as we kind of narrowed down who our target customer is, we try to appeal to that persona. So if that target customer, which in our case is a mom between the ages of about 35 to 45, we try to make the branding kind of match their taste. And this did not happen overnight, obviously,
I
especially
imagine.
with a yeah, especially with a bootstrapped company like ours. It's very difficult. If the company's funded, then yes, they have a lot of funding available. um, if the company is not funded, in our case, there's so many essential things that we have to pay for every day, that the last thing we want to do is to hire like people to do our branding. So it hasn't happened overnight. This year we did a lot of that studying of the target consumer, and also really redesigning our logo, redesigning all of our colors and branding to really, you know, um, be attractive to that customer base. So, yeah, and I appreciate it. Thank you for the
It looks
feedback.
really good.
Thank
Really, really
you.
good. Like it looks like you put
Yeah,
some effort into it, and like it just looks very well polished.
thank you. Yeah, so that's it, again, it's a group of people working together. Not an easy thing to do, but I think it's very essential. I think that as soon as a brand figures out who their customer base is, then you need to go after what they like, and then just try to design everything in that. And then but being a company that really cares for the planet, we don't have outer packaging, so that sometimes doesn't, because we have premium products, right? So, and these premium products a lot of times are in outer packages, and that's how they look really good. But I just don't want people to get the outer box and just dump it in trash. And as a very conscious brand, it's difficult to create products that are premium and not have that outer box. So yeah.
Very cool. Dr. Pooneh Ramezani, thank you for being with us today. Everyone, check out drbrite.com and just support this great brand. It looks really good, and the
Perfect.
products
Thank you so
look.
much. Yeah, don't forget to use Save 10 for 10 additional 10% discount. And I appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Talk to you soon.
Thank you, son. Bye.